Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Engineers Academy. Today, we're going to discuss SQL interview question. Let's look at today's question. Find US customers who rented and streamed videos in early February. We need to write a SQL query that returns US customers who rented a video on February 1st, 2023, and then streamed that same video between February 2nd and February 8th. First, rental table with columns user underscore ID, video underscore ID, country, rental underscore date. Here users 101, 102, and 105 rented from the US on February 1st. Now we will move on to the second table streams, which is used to connect to rental table for solving this question. Here in streams table we have user 101 streamed on February 3rd, 102 on the 7th, 103 on the 5th, 104 on the 5th, and 105 on February 10th. So we connect both tables and find US customers who rented on exactly February 1st and confirm they streamed that same video within the following week. Here is the SQL query required to solve the problem. Execute this query in the Snowflake environment. Before we start writing any code, let's quickly set the context. Up here at the top, I've selected my database and schema. This is important because every table we create will live inside the selected database and schema under the public namespace. Now we will execute this query to create table rentals using DDL command. You can see the query is executing and the table is created successfully. Next, we insert our sample data into the rentals table, listing user underscore ID, video underscore ID, country, and rental underscore date. We add 5 records. Running this insert, Snowflake confirms 5 rows were successfully inserted. In the result panel, you can see clearly the number of rows were inserted are 5. Now let's move on to the streams table creation. We will create streams table using create command by listing all columns, and if I execute this you can see streams table created successfully. Now we will insert values into streams table, and you can see clearly the number of rows were inserted are 5. Now let's move on to the explanation of query. Now here's the query that solves our problem. We start with select distinct our.user underscore ID, so we only get unique customers in our output. We're pulling from rentals, alias name as R, and joining it to streams, alias name as S. The join condition matches on both user underscore ID and video underscore ID being equal in both tables. This is important because we're not just checking if a customer streamed something, we're checking if they streamed the exact same video they rented. In our where clause, we filter for our.country equals US, our.rental underscore date equals February 1st, 2023. This pins down exactly which rentals we care about. And then, s.stream underscore date between February 2nd and February 8th. This checks that the streaming happened within that following week window. Finally, we order by our.user underscore ID, so our results come back in a clean sequence. Remember we use distinct here so that if a customer streamed the same video more than once in that window, they still show up only once in our result. Now I am executing this query. And here's our output with 2 rows come back. User 101 and user 102. Let's connect this back to our data. User 101 rented video 1 on February 1st and streamed it on February 3rd, right inside our window, so they qualify. User 102 rented video 2 on February 1st and streamed it on February 7th, also inside the window, so they qualify too. So that's the output with users ID 101 and 102 ordered in ascending. Thank you for watching this video, and for more details contact Data Engineers Academy.